This video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Easy trendline strategy for beginners. In this video, we will go over an easy trendline strategy for a beginner trader that doesn't take too much time and chart analysis to execute. The components of this strategy are 3 Trendline Touch, 20 EMA Candle Cross, London Session Killzone, which is 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some conditions are: if liquidity was already taken, then there is no trade. If there is no cross of a 20 EMA, there is no trade. Use the candle bodies, not the wicks, for trend lines. Examples and training. We will go over 3 trades, then we will walk you through 3 sessions to see if you know when to enter the trade. Here is a setup on Euro USD. Again, we're looking for the London session, which happens between 2 and 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 1:30 and then 2 o'clock. We see that there is a trend line that is broken, and we have a 3 Trendline Touch. This 20 EMA is crossed here, which is where we enter the trade. We're looking for at least a 1.5 to 1 or a 2 to 1, but mainly you're looking for the opposite side liquidity, which is resting up here. Once price reaches that, we can close the trade. Our stop loss is behind the second touch of the trend line. Here is a down trade. After midnight, we're looking for the London session, 2 o'clock, to see where there's a trade. We already see that we have broken this trend line. Price moves to the downside, has already created a 3 Trendline Touch. But, however, we are below the 20 EMA. Price moves back above this trend line and then crosses below the 20 EMA. That, however, is still not a trade because we don't have a 3 Trendline Touch. We have 1 and then we have 2. Once price makes it back up to this trend line, then crosses the 20 EMA, we can enter the trade. This gives us our 2 to 1. In this example, we're looking after midnight, after 2 o'clock. We see there is a trend line broken, but we are already close to the liquidity level. And we do have a 3 Trendline Touch, which is 1, 2, and 3, and a cross of the 20 EMA. However, as we said before, we are too close to the liquidity area. Price takes the liquidity, moves to the downside, and we can look for a downward 3 Trendline Touch, which happens here after price broke this trend line. However, once the third touch happens, price crosses back above the 20 EMA and then heads towards this liquidity. We see 1, 2 Trendline Touch, and this Trendline Touch is too close to this liquidity, so we're waiting for price to come back below the 20 EMA. And this is a Trendline Touch that crosses the 20 EMA. We are still during London. We're right at the end of London, and then price crosses above. We can enter here or we can enter here. You get a 2 to 1, placing your stop loss below the second Trendline Touch. And as you notice, we are drawing our trend line from the bodies, not the wicks. In this example, we see during the midnight hour, price has created a large range. It comes back into that range and comes right back out, creating a trend line right before the London session. We don't take this trade because this is not during the London session. This is a 1, 2, 3 trend line touch. It also does not cross below the 20 EMA and come back above. Price takes this liquidity and then breaks this trend line and comes back for one touch of our new trend line. Then it comes back for another touch and then crosses below the 20 EMA. We enter there, stop loss above the second touch, and we get our 2-to-1. Now we will walk through 3 sessions to see how to enter this trade in a live environment. Now we will go through 3 examples of how to enter a trade using this strategy. Midnight has occurred. We're waiting for 2 o'clock a.m. for the London session. Price has moved in a large range prior to the midnight hour, and we've also broken a trend line. We've hit 1, 2, and now we're waiting for a third trend line touch. And we have it here. But it has not crossed the 20 EMA, and it is not 2 o'clock. After 2 o'clock, we have a break of this trend line, and we have 1, 2, and 3 trend line touch. We also crossed the 20 EMA. That is an entry. Our stop loss is below the second swing low. Take profit is above that liquidity area for 1.5. We're also moving into this order block. So probably around 50% of this order block is a good place to exit. This is a tight trade, but we get it anyway. It says 1.3, but it's actually a 1.5 and then some. And that's what we're looking for, is a 1.5 at least. Hopefully we get a 2-to-1, but it's not always guaranteed. For the next session, we're looking for 2 o'clock. And once 2 o'clock happens, we're looking at what occurred beforehand. We see a trend line was broken. We see 1, 2, 3 trend line touch. I'll draw that out. Price did cross above the 20 EMA, but that happened before 2 o'clock. We have to stick to the rules. Price breaks this trend line, and now we're looking for a 3 trend line touch to the downside. We have it here, but price is already below the 20 EMA. So that is no trade. And we are outside of the London session. In this next session, we see midnight happens. We're looking for 2 o'clock, which occurs here. We break this trend line, and now we have a 3 trend line touch. We also cross the 20 EMA. That is an entry. Take profit is down here. and that happens pretty quickly. Your stop loss is above that second trendline touch for 1.6. To recap, this easy trendline EMA strategy can help you make better trades because it is a simple strategy without a lot of moving parts to it. That in itself helps you to trade better because having a lot of moving parts in a strategy allows for more human error in the execution of the strategy. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more videos like these. Also, please leave a comment if you have any questions or if you have any other video suggestions. Thank you for watching.